PlayStation Store January sale continues, and this is actually my last video about the PlayStation Store January sale. I have video game recommendations for pretty much every price point. Under $3, $5, $10, $15, $20. I've also got an easy trophies video and a hidden gems video. This one here is going to be more easy platinum trophies available in the January sale. Now, there is another video about this with a bunch more easy platinum trophies. This one here has some slightly harder ones, but they're all pretty easy and straightforward plats. Games that are pretty good as well. Games that you probably want on your trophy list versus just terrible my name is Mayo type games. So the games here aren't actually that bad. Anyway, let's have a look at the games on this list. Hey everybody, if you're a new viewer of the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I make new videos about PlayStation every single day on the channel, so hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date. Like I said at the top, this video is about easy platinum trophies available in the January PlayStation Store sale. This is kind of, I guess, a part 2 to the original video that I created, so have a look at that one if you're looking for some more easy plats. But this one here, we are going to start with a game called 5 Dates. 5 Dates is an FMV game, and I'm sure I've talked about this a number of times on this sale already. It's published by Wales Interactive, who pretty much do all of the FMV games on the PlayStation. They're the guys who released a trailer for that Gamer Girl game, which didn't end up coming out. But anyway, 5 Dates is a game about dating during lockdown from 2020. You're going on these Tinder dates with different people. You chat with them, you have different interactions with them, and then the outcomes of the game change depending on your choices. It's a choice-based game, very similar in style to any of the Quantic Dream style games like Detroit Become Human or Beyond Two Souls or even Until Dawn. Very similar like those, except instead of it being a character in a game, it's a real-life person as if you're watching a movie or a film. FMV games aren't super popular, and it's kind of cool that they exist and that they kind of made a resurgence. They used to be popular in the 90s, they kind of disappeared for a while, and now they're sort of back. I don't mind it. I think it's something different, and that's why I kind of like recommending them. This one's about a 3 out of 10 difficulty, pretty easy platinum trophy as well. It's going to take you about 5 or so hours to platinum, and it's got a really decent story. Nice little fun experience here for you to check out. Next up we have Ice Age Scrat's Nutty Adventure. Weirdly, a licensed movie game which isn't based on a film. Like, it's based on the Ice Age franchise of films, but it's not tied to a specific Ice Age movie or anything like that. It's just a random game that came out in 2019 for no apparent reason except for someone obviously had a license to Ice Age and they were like, hey, can we make an Ice Age game? This one here you play as Scrat, the little weird squirrel thing, and it's essentially a third-person mascot platformer game. It's actually not too bad in terms of mascot platformers. Obviously, it's not Crash Bandicoot or a Spyro. In terms of being a mascot platformer, it works pretty functionally and kind of does the job. Trophy-wise, you're looking at another 3 out of 10 difficulty here. It's probably going to take you about 8 or so hours to complete the game, though. There is a little bit of jank to it, being a sort of double A mid-tier game here, but, you know, you kind of know what you're in for here, and honestly, it's still better than some of those really dirt cheap, easy platinum trophies, so it's not too bad. Theme Park Sim. Now, this is one of the very easy, junky platinum trophies. There's nothing to this except it's just a bunch of rides that you operate. Now, I thought this was originally going to be like Theme Park World on the original PlayStation, and I got tricked into buying this at full price when it first launched. I made a video about it on the channel. You can probably check that out somewhere in the on the channel if you want to have a look at it. And I was so upset that it wasn't what I thought it was. Instead, this is just like 10 different theme park rides that you have to just control and operate. And that's it. It's really pointless. I don't really understand the point of this game at all. Easy platinum trophy though, 1 out of 10, and it's only going to take you about an hour or so. The trophies are for accessing or using each of the rides for 5 minutes. You literally just go into a ride, start it up, and sit there for 5 minutes and wait, and then go on to the next one. It's one of those things that like you don't even need to be active. You just got to keep coming back to it every 5 minutes and switching rides. It's really a frustratingly stupid game, and I feel like they tricked people into thinking it was Theme Park World, but instead it's called Theme Park Simulator. I actually don't recommend this game. I think it's a cash grab platinum. I don't particularly like those, but it's an easy platinum and is discounted. Still not worth the price, and pretty much every other game on this list is better than it, but I figured if I don't include it, someone in the comment section is going to say something, so it's on the list. Don't Knock Twice is another easy platinum trophy. There's a horror, first-person horror game. I wouldn't call it a survival game. It's more of a horror experience. It's a walking sim. Let's put it that way. It's a puzzle walking sim style game. Very similar to Gone Home, I guess, in terms of like what you can actually interact with and do. It's not there's no combat or anything like that. It's just walking around and exploring and getting spooked. 3 out of 10 difficulty. It's only going to take you about 2 hours to platinum this one. It's not the best horror game. It's not a very scary horror game either. I think it had one jump scare in it. Like halfway through it, and it's not that scary, but easy platinum trophy. Sure. Is it a junky game? I mean, it's a cheap game, but probably not as junky as Theme Park Sim. Snakey Bus. This is a fun one, actually. This is another really easy one. 3 out of 10 difficulty. It's going to take you about 2 hours, and Snakey Bus is essentially a 3D version of Snake, the original Snake that used to play on your Nokia 2280 black and white cell phone back in the day. You move around, you pick up the people, you drop them off at the different locations, and your bus grows. You gotta make sure you don't hit the tail of your bus as it extends and grows. You play on a bunch of different maps, and you got a bunch of different objectives and missions to do on each of the maps. Actually a really decent game. Fun, silly, little arcade style game here. Doesn't take itself too seriously, and you know exactly what you're getting in for when you play it. And you'll have to platinum pretty quickly and easily as well. I think you'll actually enjoy this one. This one's really, really silly, and I definitely was laughing when I was playing it because it's just so ridiculous. Especially when you get your bus super long. You'd be like, wow, this is ridiculous. So yeah, recommend checking that one out as well. The Shapeshifting Detective. This is another Wales Interactive FMV style game. This one here, rather than being a dating sim like the previous one, this is a detective or a murder mystery. You're trying to solve a crime, and the gimmick in it though is really cool. You play as this mute character essentially, and you view everyone from a first-person perspective. The cool thing though is that your power is you can shapeshift into any other character in the game. So you can have these conversations with different characters, and depending on who you shapeshift into, they may open up different details about this case to you. It's a really cool gimmick to a game like this. It's something I didn't expect when I started playing it. And again, FMV, so you've got real actors and actresses playing the characters in the game. So it's quite an interesting little concept. And yeah, this one's definitely worth checking out, I would say. It's heavily discounted as well. About a 3 out of 10 difficulty and about 5 hours to platinum. It does require multiple playthroughs because of all the different endings and stuff, but still a great game, still worth checking out. Lost Wing is a flight on the rails. I don't even know how to describe it. You're flying a little ship on the rails, and it's very similar to, it reminds me a ton of a Vita game from a couple of years ago called like Escape the Sun or Fly to the Sun or something like that. I'm sure someone will remember, put it in the comments. But it's a 3 out of 10 difficult. It's going to take you about 3 or so hours to platinum this game. I've seen reports that this game takes like 5 or 10 minutes to platinum online, and all the trophy guides I was looking at say it's like a 10-minute plat. It's not a 10-minute plat. It's like a 2 or 3 hour platinum easily. I think depending on people's skill level with these kind of games and their reflexes, you may have an easier or harder time with it, but it's essentially you have to dodge stuff and shoot stuff. So you've got to move around this environment and shoot at things in the environment, or as you're like being pushed forwards essentially. So some people are going to have a harder time with this than others. So it's worth kind of being conservative in terms of time and difficulty on a game like this. Untitled Goose Game. One of the best games that came out in 2019. This one here, you play as the mischievous goose who's just gone around wreaking havoc on everybody. He's a very mischievous boy. This actually recently got a free update to add co-op to the game as well, so you now play as a gander of geese, I guess. 2 geese? Is 2 geese a gander, or is it just 2 gooses? The game is it's fun. It's a silly game. Think of like a Goat Simulator, or if you're looking for something really silly and ridiculous to compare this to. It's similar to that. You'll have a laugh while you're playing through it. You'll enjoy it. It's actually a really solid experience. The guys who made this are Australian. And hats off to them. They came up with a really cool concept, and they're probably all millionaires now. So you know, good on them for that. Game itself is about a 3 out of 10 difficulty. It's going to take you around 5 or so hours to complete. You kind of just have to do everything in this game, but there's not tons of content, so it's not too bad, I would say. But you'll enjoy this one. You'll enjoy this one a lot. Next up is Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I'll talk about the first game because the other two kind of fit into the same category as the first one. It's a 3 out of 10, and it takes about 10 hours to platinum. Spyro and its 2 predecessors, which are all included in this package, are all third-person mascot platformers. They focus on collecting stuff, and they're all in these semi-open worlds. I'm sure a lot of you have played Spyro or are familiar with Spyro. It's kind of the easier mascot platformer if you're comparing Crash and Spyro. I think this was actually developed by Insomniac originally, the guys who made Spider-Man, the guys who made Ratchet, Resistance. Very solid game. This was one of their first games, or maybe it was even their first PlayStation 1 game, I think. that they've released. Great series here. Always recommend this when it's on sale because it normally comes down quite discounted. It's a good deal. Not only that though, it's an easy platinum and a really enjoyable one as well. And you get 3 platinum trophies out of it because you can platinum each of the games in the trilogy. So it's well worth the money investment. Final game on the list is Star Wars Racer Episode 1, or maybe Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. This is the pod racing game that used to be on the Nintendo 64, I believe. Now there's 2 methods for this, the legit method and the cheat method. If you use cheats, I think you can finish this game in under an hour and it becomes very, very easy. If you don't use cheats, it's about a 3 out of 10 difficulty. It's going to take you about 6 hours. Both methods kind of, it doesn't really make too much of a difference except time. I say if you've gone to the effort to buy this, you may as well play it. It's a pretty good game. You get to do some pod racing and yeah, it's a pod racing racer. It's actually a pretty decent game. I recommend playing it, not using the cheats. So there you go, 10 more easy platinum trophies on the January sale that you can check out. These are all available up until the 19th of January when the sale ends. Yeah, let me know if you guys got any of these platinums, or you're planning on getting any of these platinums, or what you think of any of these platinums. Maybe you're working on some, maybe you have some other recommendations for easy platinums that people can go and pick up as well. I do have another video, like I mentioned at the top, looking at more easy platinum trophies in this sale, so you can go check that out if you want some more. Otherwise, hopefully this video was helpful. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy it, give it the thumbs down. And yeah, this is my January sale playlist complete, finally. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you so much for sticking with me up until this point, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. See you guys.